Shalom, Yasharala. I'm your brother Abaniah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Camp, Heralds of Yahushai, coming to you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. First, we give all honor, all glory, all praises, all reverence to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone, our spiritual fathers who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwath who are following this truth in all diligence and all sincerity. Now, the lesson today is keep company with godly men. Keep company with godly men. When you look at the state of the world today, you would always see thieves hanging out with other thieves. You'd always see con men hanging out or knowing other con men. There's an old saying my mother used to tell us, birds of a feather flock together. Just like how you go see lions with lions and bears with bears and what have you. So too, in this walk, in this truth, keep company with godly men. Because if you are a godly man, it's natural that you would seek out and you would form friendships with those who are like-minded. This is why Yahushua left us the brotherhood. That company of godly men. So, let's go to our first precept. Let's go to Sirach. Let's get it, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 37 and verses 12. It says, but be continually with a good man, Salakia, but be continually with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of Yahweh. And who keeping the commandments of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua today? It's the elect. Right? But continue with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep the commandments of Yahweh. And how would you know? Scripture says, by their fruits you would know them. Whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou wilt miscarry. So the company of godly men, you must be a godly man yourself. You don't see, has anybody ever seen the police and the thief being friends? Well, I know you're seeing that now because the line has become so blurred between the two. But let me say, in the ideal perspective, knowing that the police officer upholds the law and the thief breaks the law, would it make sense that they are friends? Of course not. Right? So you keeping company with godly men must be men who what? Keep the commandments, who is like-minded. Now I, for instance, prefer use myself as an example. I always loved the Bible. So when I was seeking out friends, I used to seek out friends who have that similar mindset. Should a conversation be struck up pertaining to the scriptures, it will be easy for that conversation to flow. So anybody who didn't have that, more than likely, they never used to be my friend. If you're a person believing that, running racket and doing crime is the way for you to make it in life and to go forward, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to do that. So you're going to seek out like-minded persons. So in this truth, it is beneficial to seek out the company or to have company with godly men. Because should you be stumbling, you could always call on your brother. Call on that other godly man who is like-minded as you, and he could offer you words of encouragement. Right? Let's get the next precept. Sirach 13 and verse 16. This is what it says. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. All flesh. This is why you're going to see lions with lions, tigers with tigers, hyenas with hyenas, because all flesh consorted with their kind, and a man will cleave form friendship with those who are just like him. So if I'm a bully, an abuser, I'm going to find friends who are bullies and abusers themselves. You're going to find others just like you to be friends. Verse 17. What fellowship had the wolf with the lamb? Exactly. So the sinner with the godly. And what friendship is there between the sinner and the godly? There is none. You don't see the godly cleaving to the sinner or the sinner cleaving to the godly. You will see sinner cleaving and craving the company of other sinners. And you will see godly men seeking out other godly men. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. So there are differences, there are separations. And in this truth, the company of godly men is to your benefit. Let's get Amos 3:3. Everybody's supposed to know that. Amos 3:3, it says, can two walk together except they be agreed? You will never find two men who disagree on anything forming friendships, walking together. You know? You will never hear this saying, hey, we's buddies, we's friends. Because they definitely cannot be. Romans chapter 15, verses 5 to 6. It says, now the power of patience and consolation grant you to be like-minded to one toward another according to Hamashiach Yahushai, that ye may with one mind and one mouth glorify power, even the Father of our Master Yahushai Hamashiach. And this is the behavior you're going to find among godly men. Godly men, like when you look at the Akim, the beloved Akim, you know, we gather together and what? We give praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. We call up and we check up on each other. We exchange scriptures. If a brother having an issue or he need edification on something, you know, the Akim is always there. You know? And let's get what like-minded is. A second. That's Romans 15 and verse 5. Let's get it to the NLT first. It says, may power who gives this patience and encouragement help you live in complete harmony with each other as is befitting the followers of Hamashiach. So the followers of Hamashiach is going to be what? In agreement with each other. They're going to be in perfect harmony. There's unity, the true unity that exists in the world. It exists amongst the brotherhood, the Akim, where the true servants of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai may be found. So let's get that word like-minded.
Strong's G 5426. Franeo. Franeo.
Franeo. See in the outline biblical usage, to have understanding. Be wise. To feel, to think, to have an opinion of oneself. Think of oneself to be modest. Not let one's opinion, though just, of himself exceed the bounds of modesty. To think or judge with what one's opinion is. To be of the same mind. That's like-minded. That's the definition we need. That is agreed together. Cherish the same views. Be harmonious. If we go down to the Strong's definition, it says from G5424, to exercise the mind. That is entertain or have a sentiment or opinion, by implication to be mentally disposed more or less earnestly in a certain direction. Intensively to interest oneself in or with concern or obedience. set their affection on. Be careful, be like, be one, be of the same. For example, be of the same mind. Why? That's why the scripture said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua HaMashiach. And this is why you're going to find among the true believers, when you keep the company with godly men, you would always hear the names of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai being high, lifted up, honored, and glorified. Let's get Philippians chapter 2, verse 2. Philippians chapter 2 and verses 2. Let's start from verse 1. If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. So, keeping company with godly men, is also being like-minded. You have the same mindset as they. You both crave the same thing, that connection and that relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. As we mother used to say, birds of a feather flock together. So you say, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. That's why the scripture says, let us all speak the same thing, meaning the same doctrine. That's why I said earlier, the true unity that exists in the world today can only be found amongst the elect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now you're going to see the wicked coming together to accomplish a task. But is it done through true unity? Of course it's not. Of course it's not. The Lord had to put it in their heart for them to get along with each other to accomplish prophecy. So prophecy could come to pass. That's why the scripture says a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. And who is that kingdom today that is divided against itself? It's the kingdom of Esau Edom. You have Russia warring with America. And you know what the funny thing is? They all belong to the same race. They are Edomites. And you're seeing one Edomite fighting with another Edomite. Right? So when you're taking a friend, you don't know the type of friend you're taking first. You don't just call any and everyone friend. So if you're a godly man seeking the company of other godly men, you have to do what? You have to prove a man first. Let's get Sirach chapter 6 and verses 7. It says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. Just because a fella a person sung a certain way and you like how the conversation goes, that don't make them a good candidate to be a friend. You need more time to evaluate and prove that person. So before for instance, we come into the shoot, we come into the camp, there was a period known as a period of testing, or the troopers test, where you had to be proven. You was under close watch, so to speak, before you were accepted as a full-fledged brother. And that is wise, because we have a lot of undercover agents, ninjas, charlatans, who pretend to be friends. This is what verse 8 says. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. And that is so true. This is why we keep company with godly men. We're not saying we wouldn't talk with those who are not in this truth, We're not saying that. But we will call a brother if he what? He does the will of the Father in heaven. Just as Yahushua said, who is my mother? Who is my brother? Who is my father? He said, them, roughly paraphrasing, them that do the will of my Father in heaven. The same as my father, my mother, my brother. Verse 9, and there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of affliction. Right, and we have our next precept, Ecclesiastes chapter 4. Pick it up from verse 9. It says, two are better than one. This is why it's necessary. This is why Yahushua left us the brotherhood, that company of godly men. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. And we saw Yahushua send out the disciples 2 by 2. If they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he had not another to help him up. You can't face this, watch me, you can't make it out here on your own. We have a lot of men who was once a part of this truth, leaving the Achium, saying, I go out there and do my own thing. If you couldn't do it when Yahushua had you with like-minded men, you think you're going to be able to do it when you're out there on your own? Of course not. Verse 11, again, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? As what I said, the keeping company with godly men is a benefit. And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not easily broken. And if we could understand this simple concept pertaining to, let me look at a rope. You take three cords of rope and you plait it together. What you get? A stronger rope. Through that bond, through those three individual strands being knitted or interwoven together, you have a stronger bond. So when one godly man is in the company with other godly men, what they have? You have a strong, tight-knit unit. And that tight-knit unit is the brotherhood. In the brotherhood is where you find the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the teachers. And this is what Yahushua left for us. Going back to Amos 3:3, can two walk together unless they agree? So keep company with godly men. With that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I'm your brother Abaniah of the South Arm of the Great Millstone Camp, Heralds of Yahushua, saying Shalom. Till the next lesson.